Mother's Day. Parents who deny their children independence are creating a generation incapable of dealing with failure. This from a leading neuroscientist. A trend over the past 20 years, wrapping children in cotton wool is leaving them struggling to cope with setbacks in their teenage years and adult life. And it's a female neuroscientist, Professor Sarah Jane Blakemore, an expert in cognitive neuroscience at the University College London, said that it was important for children to embrace a degree of risk and learn from mistakes. But she warned youngsters nowadays are not allowed to be independent as they were when she was growing up in the 70s and 80s. Professor Blakemore, an expert in the teenage brain. Well, how do you become one of these? Man, wouldn't parents love to be figuring that out? An expert in the teenage brain. Wow. Anyway, that's what she is. This is, again, Sarah Jane Blakemore, expert in the teenage brain, said risk-taking is an important development behavior for teenagers as they begin to negotiate independence. Adolescents after puberty need to become independent of their parents and their families, and they need to go out and affiliate with their peer group, and they need to explore their environment and take risks. My view, she said, is that children almost need to practice risk-taking to know exactly how to deal with situations when they fail and when things go wrong. And I think she's got a point, because we have evolved to a point where we're afraid of our children failing because they may not be able to handle it psychologically. We're afraid of them not being able to handle it, so we don't want them to fail. And we have relatively amount of economic prosperity that we think we can shield them from failure. And why should they fail if it's not necessary, Mr. Limbaugh? Why should children suffer if it's not necessary? If we can protect and shield our children from suffering and pain and embarrassment, why shouldn't we do that? You know, it's a prevailing opinion today, and in many circles, it's called good parenting. Kid you not. When they suddenly do have independence as an adolescent, how are they expected to exert their independence if they've never had any practice at it? My view, said Professor Blakemore, is that risk-taking and failing and things going wrong are really important skills for a child and an adolescent to learn. If you don't allow an adolescent to fail or take risks, then what kind of adult will they be? Democrats is what's going to become dependent. Democrats is what's going to be. What else are they going to become? What else? If they're afraid to take risks, if they always want a security blanket and backstop, they're going to become Democrats. Plain and simple. What kind of adult will they be when they go out and live on their own and have to deal with their own lives? They won't. They'll turn it over to the Democrat Party. Or they'll turn it over to government or something. Professor Blakemore is the daughter of Sir Colin Blakemore, himself a renowned neuroscientist. She stressed that it was still, I didn't print the next page. So what more do we need? She's exactly right about this.
Oh,
do you
Sarah.
disagree with this? Or are you just laughing? I tease people by not printing the same. Well, I didn't. I print one page. I don't. If a story, if the essence of a story isn't on one page, it's not worth me doing. I've got enough paper around here without stories having to be 3 or 4 pages long. Screw that. Everything I do is one page. And if it goes longer than that, then it's a waste of time. Does anybody doubt that I've got the essence of this story? I got the essence exactly right. Related story, the rise of men who don't work and what they do instead. New York Times on December 11th. That's how old this story is. My brother's birthday. I wonder if it had anything to do with it.